Hello and welcome back to the lesson, and we're going to continue with synthesis 2 in particular. All right, now we're going to continue with our synthesis of two elements creating a binary molecule, a compound, sorry. And in this case, when I have two nonmetals, it will form a molecular compound. All right, because the covalent bonds between two nonmetals will create a molecular compound, and a very um, common, very popular reaction. The carbon reacting with oxygen, and we can know as carbon dioxide. However, there is a possibility of me having carbon monoxide. Okay, don't forget to balance the equation. Now, you should ask me, how do I know for certain which one is which? The short answer is you don't. The problem with this is because the molecular compounds could have different um, products, a different way of writing it, that it creates more than one possible product of one same kind of reaction. Okay, so you won't know what for certainty. There's no certainty for you to know reaction. Okay, if there's a molecular compound, okay, if it's ionic, you should know what is a product. However, in the molecular compounds, you won't know the product for molecular compounds, unless I give you some more information or there's some more hints to tell you what it will be. Okay, so I'll pause the video and I'll continue on in a second. Alright, next kind of reaction, a synthesis reaction, would be an element reacting with a compound. Now, an element reacting with a compound form a new compound. Don't forget, when I have a chemical reaction, I change the reactants to create a new product. So it's always going to be a new compound. I'm going to reuse an example I used in the past. Okay, got your sulfur dioxide plus oxygen to create sulfur trioxide. Okay, don't forget to balance your equations. Okay. And it's a very straightforward kind of deal. You get your molecule reacting with your elements to create a new compound. Now I want to emphasize that if I look here and I have no metals working, if I only have non-metal elements going on, then and then my product will be a molecular compound. It is impossible for me to know what will be the product without additional knowledge or additional information to tell me this is it. Okay? That's the reality of some reactions. But like I said, unless you know that the product will be an ionic compound, you won't know the product. You only could know if it was a ionic compound. I'm being a little redundant now. I'm sorry. Anyhow, I'm gonna pause this and do the final part of the video. The final synthesis that we're looking at is two compounds to form a new compound. Unfortunately, in chemistry, there are so many different kind of reactions possible to have two compounds. Compounds could be mean any kind of possible compounds out there. There's so many, right? And then there's different ways of predicting it. For this class, I'm gonna focus on oxides, okay, and not any kind of reaction. Be oxides reacting with water. Okay, so non-metal oxide, and I'm gonna use one that's very you should be very familiar with is carbon dioxide reacting with water. Create me. Again, you should recognize this molecule because it has protons, H positives, right? And therefore this guy is an acid. Okay. When there's a non-metal reacting with water, it'll create an acid. With metal oxide, this guy in the end would create, if you pay attention to this, you should know that this will create NaOH. Don't forget to balance your equations. Because my OH is there, this guy is a base. Therefore, metal